Today on Public Eye News, former President Trump visits the city of Dearborn looking to tap votes from the largest Arab-majority city in the states, and later rapper Young Thug pleads guilty to multiple charges.
Our very own Kieran Healy has a look into the weather forecast as we cool down around the UP, and later an eye on NMU sports heading into the weekend. I'm Bianca Kroll.
And I'm Liam Euland-Joy. This is Public Eye News. Donald Trump will visit the nation's largest Arab-majority city, Dearborn, Michigan, with an appearance at a local restaurant today. Owner Sam Abbas said the Trump team reached out weeks ago about hosting their candidate, but he wanted to see a statement calling for an end to the war in Lebanon first. Trump will be the first 2024 presidential candidate to make a direct visit. Joe Biden won Dearborn by large margins in 2020, but his administration's handling of the Israel-Hamas war has led to significant discontent there. The appearance comes after events where Trump brought local Muslims on stage with him and endorsements from two Muslim Democratic mayors. Michigan is expected to be a critical swing state in the upcoming election. And a student from China at the University of Michigan is facing charges after illegally voting. It's an unusual case of a non-citizen voting in U.S. elections. The student faces charges of perjury and attempting to vote as an unauthorized elector. The latter charge has a maximum penalty of 4 years in prison and a $2,000 fine. Details came out in a joint statement by Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson and Washtenaw County Prosecutor Eli Savitt. This comes after Republicans have made repeated claims about widespread non-citizen voting this year. But data, even from red states, shows it is not a significant problem. And the recent joint statement says when it does happen in Michigan, it is taken extremely seriously.
The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has implemented a new tool to help children in learning. This new tool is Michigan Child and Adolescent Needs and Strengths, otherwise known as MichiCANS. This tool explores the behavioral health needs of the youth. It also helps the staff to prioritize steps to take and track changes. Elizabeth Hertel said that this tool helps to identify and communicate what an individual student needs in their learning. Hertel also said it promotes quality screening and assessment standards from state to state to ensure exceptional behavioral health services. MichiCAN benefits include helping children with emotional disturbances, strength-based tools, supporting the links of needs and strength, and information sharing to get services for multiple child-serving systems. Fall back is this Sunday. All clocks are going back to standard time, and the Michigan Department of Transportation warns about others on the road. MDOT warns about how many people could be traveling by foot, bicycle, wheelchair, and skateboard while traveling home. This is also a reminder that it is against the law to hold an electronic device while operating a vehicle. Michigan Fitness Foundation's Safe Routes to School program has been working hard to provide the best practices to help the community stay safe on the road. It is encouraged for motorists to reduce their speed, obey the traffic laws and signals, and to be on the lookout for pedestrians. Motorists are also encouraged to keep a 3-foot distance while passing a bicyclist on the road. Pedestrians are encouraged to wear brighter colored clothing and reflective gear to stay safe on the roads. And the state of Michigan recently passed a new law allowing Michigan State Police to work with local townships and road commissions on ways to address speed limits. Some in Berrien County wasted no time getting involved. Take a look.
We want to be responsive to the requests coming from the townships that we serve.
Speed limit changes coming to Berrien County. A new law, Public Act 33, will allow local townships and road commissions to have more say on speed limits on the county roads.
The intent of the act is to allow greater flexibility on the setting of speed limits within county roads. This is something that is relatively new for many, many years, going on decades.
It used to be that Michigan State Police would conduct speed studies by collecting data and analyzing this average speed over a long period of time.
So essentially, what the average car is moving down a section of roadway using what would be 85% of that average speed that would have been collected over a series of days, weeks, or months.
Public Act 33 now allows more flexibility in lowering speed limits in residential areas and increasing speed limits on rural roads. Berrien County Administrator Brian Dissett says this could be an increase or decrease the speed of traffic in specific parts of the county. Local townships in Berrien County are mainly asking to slow speeds in residential areas. The goal of this new law is to create safe and more efficient travel for drivers.
And as a result, it is new. It is something that I'm encouraging both our elected officials for Berrien County as well as the elected officials for the various townships to just be patient as we work through the process.
Now don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with your weather and national news after this break. Stay tuned.
We're back. High School Bowl returns this weekend for its 46th season, and we have a couple of great matches to start off the year. In the first, Gwynn goes up against Watersmeet. Hi, I'm Jim Koski, and then in our second season opening matchup, Ironwood takes on Rudyard. That's coming up this week, the 46th season opener of High School Bowl.
Welcome back. I'm Kieran Healy, and this is your Public Eye Weather Report. Starting off with a look around the roof cam, it's going to be some cloudy skies and not much activity on the Academic Mall today. Moving across to the map, the Upper Peninsula, we've got cloud coverage across the whole UP. Over in Houghton, it's going to be 40 degrees, in Ironwood, 39. Iron Mountain, it'll be 43, and in Menominee, it'll be 44. Now moving across to the other side of the UP, in Escanaba, it'll be 43, Manistique, 44. Over in the Sioux, it'll be 38, and back here in our lovely Marquette, it'll be 40 degrees and cloudy. Taking a closer look at current conditions, we'll have winds out of the north at 9 miles an hour with a barometric pressure of 30.29 inches and rising. Taking a closer look at tonight's conditions, we'll have partly cloudy skies with a low of 31 and winds out of the south-southwest at 6 miles an hour. And tonight, we'll have a new moon, so go out and take a peek. And tomorrow, we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 54, a low of 41, and winds out of the south-southwest at 12 miles an hour. Taking a look into the beginning of next week, we'll have rain all throughout the week. And Sunday, we'll have a high of 52 and a low of 46. Monday, a high of 60 and a low of 45. And then on Tuesday, we'll have a high of 50 and a low of 41. That's all I've got for this weather report. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Well, thank you for that weather update, Kieran. It sure is starting to feel like fall out there. But now it's time for your national news, starting with this. Grammy-winning artist Young Thug will be released from jail after pleading guilty to 1 gang, 2 drug, and 3 gun charges yesterday. The rapper, real name Jeffrey Williams, entered his pleas without reaching a deal. That's because negotiations between his team and the prosecution broke down earlier in his turbulent trial, leaving his sentence in the hands of Judge Paige Reese Whitaker. She sentenced Williams to 40 years in prison, commuted to time served, followed by 15 years on probation. For the first 10 years, Williams must stay out of the metro Atlanta area. There are exceptions to this rule, allowing him to attend family functions and give anti-gang presentations at schools. Williams said he has learned from his mistakes and won't be in a similar situation again. And some voters this year will be rewarded with creative stickers that look a little different from the usual. Redesign competitions have been held across the nation, including right here in Michigan. Rather than the traditional flowing colors of the American flag, some I-voted stickers in the state will depict a werewolf tearing off his shirt in front of the Stars and Stripes. The exciting new design was created by a 12-year-old Michigan student, and other artists across the country are having their work highlighted as well. The state of New Hampshire held a contest for 4th graders. San Francisco's competition produced a multilingual sticker. And if you happened to vote on Halloween in New York City, your sticker featured a pigeon wearing a witch's hat. And one mother is using her experience with grief, loss, and art to help others. Art therapy is a growing practice in the United States. Reporter Kyland Hall has more details on Heartprint Studio and their impact. Take a look.
Robin Jones was just 7 years old when she first visited the candy store just 2 houses down in North Webster, and she knew from a young age that she would own it one day.
I thought I was going to turn it into a candy store, for the neighborhood kids to ride their bike and come down and have a safe place to come to, and it quickly changed into an art bereavement studio for me.
The store went up for auction in 2015, and once Jones bought the building, it became a private place for her to paint and continue the art therapy that began after her son died in 2011.
As I was building it, my friends were losing children. So it was like, why don't you come to the studio and talk to me? We'll sit on the porch and, that kind of thing. And then, it kind of turned into a place where people just would come and hang out and talk about their kids, and it was mostly porch talk.
Now that a community of local artists are available to offer lessons, Jones wants the space to be open for those who want to use art to process the difficult loss.
If you decide that you want to come and do some art, the space will be empty. You'll be the only one in here besides me. And it's just a time where you can come and reflect and dive into whatever medium you want to work with.
Recently, Joan used the space to create wristbands with women who were just released from jail. The artist who does the laser cutting for these crafts is the same man who received her son's heart in a transfusion that has kept the two in relationship for over a decade.
It's just knowing that what she gave birth to, part of him is in me, giving me life, and I hope in return what little bit I can do for her to give her life and support her in whatever she's doing.
Kylan Hall, WSBT 22 News.
And we'll be right back after this short break. Stay tuned.
Our world is transforming before our very eyes, and we need to be ready. So join me in the lab and in the field to discover the latest science about our changing weather and climate and how a better future is within reach. Join me for weather.
Watch now with Passport on the PBS Video app.
Once again, welcome back, and I'll be taking you through our weekend preview of Wildcat sports. Starting off on the gridiron, the Cats will play host to number 2 ranked Ferris State in the last home game of the season. The Bulldogs come to town looking to remain undefeated in the conference after taking down Grand Valley on the road in the Anchor Bone Classic. Northern Michigan head coach Shane Richardson said he's focused on correcting mistakes made last weekend when Tech took the Miners Cup for the 14th consecutive year. Tomorrow will be senior day for the Wildcats, with festivities happening just before the 1 p.m. kickoff in the Superior Dome. Crossing over to the pitch, the UW Parkside Rangers are up against the NMU women's soccer team. The Wildcats have dominated this season, leading the GLIAC with a record of 8-2-1. The Cats will hope to keep the Rangers down, who come to town 1-5-4 in conference play. In recent program history, these teams have a 7-0-2 record in the Wildcats' favor. The fate of the postseason just might ride on the weekend for the home squad, heading into the match with 25 points, just 2 above a trailing Grand Valley. And according to the latest reports, the Cats are up 3-0 after 2 headers to start the second half. Now icing it over to hockey, the Wildcats welcome the Michigan Tech Huskies to their first matchup of the regular season. First-year head coach Dave Shayak and his crew open up conference play after starting the season 1-5. Last month in Houghton, the Cats dropped 4-3 in an exhibition game, but have a chance to prove themselves in this home-and-home series. A player to watch is Tynan Ewert, last week's CCHA Defenseman of the Week, who leads the conference in assists, is second in points, and leads the team in blocked shots. The puck will drop at the Barrie Event Center tonight at 7:07 p.m. That's all I've got for this sports report. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Kieran, for that sports update. I'm definitely looking forward to that Michigan Tech game tonight. How about you, Liam?
Me too. There's a lot riding on it, and I have to say I really do hope we can pull a win out against our historic foe, Michigan Tech. But Bianca, I hear you have another story for us today.
I do. It's a very important story.
Okay.
NMU and the City of Marquette and bipartisan NMU organizations are coming together to help get students ready to vote. NMU is offering a shuttle bus to take students out to register to vote and can vote immediately or vote on Election Day on November 5th. ASNMU President Dina Hickley says this is a great opportunity to get students to register and help those who are unsure how to vote. It also helps those who don't have transportation to get to the polls.
Sounds like a great service, I have to say. Voting is, of course, very important. I recently voted absentee. And this election day is shaping up to be a pretty historic one, so everyone should get out there if they can. And if they,
I definitely agree. I had to also vote absentee.
But that's all the time we have left today at Public Eye News. I'm Liam Eulenjoy.
And I'm Bianca Kroll.
And we'll see you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.